know, in the early 1900s, deer were almost completely wiped out of certain parts of Appalachia. It's estimated by the early 1900s, 1% of the deer that we have today was all that was left in Appalachia. Generations of unregulated hunting and commercial marketing reduced herds greatly. And then you had the logging markets and the coal mining and all kinds of progress coming in to the mountains and destroying the landscape so that their habitats changed. It was a huge problem because they were a major food source. And the government finally saw that as a problem and they stepped in to help. Wildlife officials started to capture deer in other parts of the country. They would ship them into Appalachia on trains or on trucks, and they would bring them to places where native herds had disappeared. The deer were released into protected areas with the hope that a small group of them could survive, reproduce, and rebuild the population. Virginia began its deer restoration program in 1926. Between 1926 and 1952, the state imported 1,870 deer from 11 different states. Once there were enough deer in Virginia, officials would start trapping deer here and started to ship them out to other parts of Appalachia. Tennessee began its deer restoration program in the 1940s, and they released more than 9,000 of them by 1985. In West Virginia, the French Creek Game Farm began raising deer and other wildlife for reintroduction in 1923. Slowly, deer returned. It just makes me think about how lucky I am to actually be able to have a deer. She lives up in this kudzu area up here, and I see her regularly, and it just makes me feel so lucky that I get to see that. And it's just so interesting that there was a time that they were so rare that people didn't get to see them, and it's very fortunate that they were brought back and they were saved. It just makes you think how lucky you are today that people did that.